So like I've built on a sloping site. I'm building a number of homes on sloping sites. So let's talk about why you would build on a sloping site. Number one, it would be the area. So you love the location, but there's no more land. And so this is a way to reclaim more land or get more usable building space out of sections that are already there. Number two, open up views. It could be the privacy. You love the seclusion. You love the outlook. You love the trees. Literally my home on the section nobody wanted had been on the market for 15 years. So many people looked at it, no one thought they could build on it. Bit by bit, we found a design, we worked out how to do it. It's now got what I believe is a beautiful home. It's a great place to live. I love the trees, I love the outlook. Often buying a sloping site can appear like a bargain. It's a cheaper price and it can overall end up just as good, if not better than a normal new build. But you've got to factor in those extra costs early on. You've got to know that you're going to be spending minimum 50 to 100K more than that flat, central, new, easy build. So let's talk about two things to make your sloping site slightly easier. Number one is good design. And if this is your slope, rather than doing these big gnarly cuts into it and therefore all of this retaining, you want to work with the land. So try to not unnecessarily trigger conditions that will require resource consent. And so get a good topographical survey, get that modeled up properly in the computer, then work out how to work with the lay of the land in the best way possible. Unnecessary earthworks also creates unnecessary fill that you're going to either have to dispose of on-site or off-site. Right now, that's a major issue in the Wellington region as well. So if you can build out of your slope, it's always going to be slightly easier than cutting into your slope. And saying that, it's a balancing act, and often what we end up doing is a mix. For example, what we're doing on the Riverstone section just over there. We've just cut the retaining wall over here. Over there, the green lines, hopefully you got that with the drone. The green lines are where we're cutting a footing. And that's going to be a block wall. So over there we've got a string line, that's the height of the concrete. And you can see as the site dips away, we're going to have to build it up. Half of the house will be on a concrete slab, and then we hang a subfloor off that, and then we hang a deck off that. Riverstone just got its footings poured and block work is happening, and we will hang the subfloor off the front of that. And what that means is once we're out of the ground, we'll have a single story build platform. Similar to how I approached the section nobody wanted. I did a basement garage, and then I went for the main floor being all one level and work within my setbacks and my sunlight recessions. So that's tip one. You do the design, you get input from the builder, you get input from the engineer, you get input, then you revise. I think when I did the section nobody wanted, I did something like 6 concepts. I talked to the council, I talked to the engineer, I talked to building mates, and we came up with something in the end that we believed was the best balancing act of all those scenarios. So tip number 2 is you've got to think about your process way more in a sloping site. Think about all the earthworks you want to do early on, even including landscaping, because more than likely, once you've built that house, it's going to be really hard to get that digger around the back and in that top corner later on. You want to really think about the entire process. You want to front foot that and do as much as you can up front. Make your build platform as wide as possible, as clean as possible, as flat as possible. You might even want to consider putting a layer of base course down over stuff. You want to think about your zones. Where's your materials going? Where's your cars going to get parked? Where's your cutting station? Where are you going to work? These shouldn't be last minute decisions that you make on the fly, but you should slow down. I get it. Like me personally, I wanted to just rush into things. I wanted to see progress on site after thinking about it and designing it for so long. But you also want to take a little bit of time to think about those things with some good thought and a good plan that'll save you tens or hundreds of hours in the future. And that can be the difference between the project sucking all your resources dry or you enjoying the process. The more that you go in with your eyes wide open, the more you're going to enjoy the process, the more you're going to get out of the site. It's not going to be one of those grand designs horror stories that drags on for years and doubled the budget and all of those things. Boom, that's it. Off for Smoko.